Okay, I'm going to show you how to move a student within a school. So if they're moving from one teacher to another teacher at that school, this is probably the easiest and fastest way to do that. So what you're going to need to know before you move the student is their name and their ID number, and also the NS number of the teacher they're moving to. So let's say we're working at Falcon Ridge. We'll double click on that school to make sure it's highlighted. We're going to come down here to teachers and we're going to look for a student. So let's say Adonai Fahmy, and we're going to come down here and see if we can find the teacher. Let's see, we're looking for Stout. So Mariah Stout. We look down here under her classes, we're going to see an NS number. So this is the class that the student needs to be moved into. So we're going to need to write down NS 554280. So now we know where the student needs to go. Now we got to find the student. So this student was already in, let's see, Carolyn Vidatik's class. Let's see where she is. I'm going to scroll down here. Oh, right under Stout. So we'll double click on Carolyn Vidatik and we'll double click on this class. Now these are all the students in the class, and the student we're moving, let's see if we can find him. Oh, there it is. I skipped it. So now we double click on the student to make sure we're working within that student's profile. So now we're going to click on Edit Student Profile. So this is the student's profile. These are all the classes and groups at that student's school that they can be moved to. We could select all of these boxes if we wanted to, and that student would be in every class. But we don't need to do that because not every teacher needs to see that student's information and have that student's information show up on their reports. So we are going to look for the NS number of Mariah Stout, and that's NS 554280. So we'll scroll down here to find that NS number. Now we see the class the student was in, so we can uncheck that, and we'll keep looking for NS 554. And they're all in order, so we're getting close. 554280. That's the one that we want. So we click on that and we hit save. So that student is no longer in Carolyn's class, but they will be in Mariah's class. So let's click and make sure. Oh, yep, there's the student. So that was an easy way to switch a student from one class to another. So let's say we needed to move a student. I'll just use this one as an example. Adeline needs to be moved to another school instead of another class within their own school. So we'd scroll down and we could see where the student was. We can uncheck this box to remove them from the class, but it's not going to work. So when we hit save, it's going to tell us a student must be registered in at least one class. Please select a class. But we have a problem because this student is not moving to any of the classes at Falcon Ridge. They're moving to a whole different school. So we can't select any of these. What we're going to do is cancel, and we're leaving them inside that class. We're not moving them anywhere yet. And we're going to hit deactivate student. So if we click that, it'll say, do you really want to deactivate the student? No, well, I don't right now because this is just an example. But if I was moving this student to another school, then I would hit yes, and I would deactivate that student from that school and that class. Then, if I needed to find the student, I'd click on search at the top, and I would look in the inactive students, and I'd search for that student with their student ID number. That's how I would find a student or move a student from one school to another, but that's not what we're doing right now. So what we need to do is move students within a school. So we'll use one more example. We have another student, Gage Wilson, that needs to be moved into Mariah Stout's class as well. So we need to find where Gage Wilson is. I'm going to look in Carolyn's class again because I've been told by Carolyn that this is a student that needs to be moved out. So I'm in Carolyn's class and I'm looking for Gage Wilson. So I'll scroll to the bottom for the W's. I'll click on Gage Wilson. Now I'm going to come up here to Edit Student Profile, and I'm going to scroll down until I find the class the student was in. Uncheck that. Now we're not going to keep that kid in that class anymore, but we've got to find NS 554280, and that is the NS number for Mariah Stout's class. There it is. So there we go. We're going to hit save. And Gage Wilson has been moved to the correct class in with Mariah Stout. So we'll scroll down here just to make sure. Yep, Gage Wilson, he was moved to Mariah Stout's class. That's what we need to do. So if you have any questions, let me know, but this is probably the fastest way to move a student to another class that's in their school that they're already registered with.